Hi, my name is Tim Colen, and I'm the Executive Director of the San Francisco Housing Action Coalition. And I've been a resident of San Francisco probably for 36 years. And I'd like to tell you about what I've seen that the housing crisis has done and is doing to San Francisco. The city, because it has a red-hot economy, the envy of any city in the United States, is attracting lots and lots of people here, and they're coming to a city that is very stingy about how it produces new housing. And this housing affordability and displacement crisis that we're experiencing now is the result of just not having enough housing and not building enough to accommodate the people that are coming here. The secret is this wasn't caused by Google or Facebook or Twitter. We've been building it for 20 or 30 years by choices we've made in how we use land and how we enact housing policy. And it's a logical consequence of that. And I think one of the toughest things that we face is how to get San Franciscans, people that have been here for a while, to accept the idea that a physical change to the city that involves building lots of housing doesn't actually threaten the core character of the city, that it's not going to change or hurt San Francisco if we build lots of new housing. Because the truth of it is, we have lots and lots of underutilized land. If you think about it, you go along the transit corridors and you find parking lots and crappy one-story retail that doesn't produce very many jobs on a transit corridor. Why isn't that land being put to better use that has 4 or 5 stories of housing over good retail that would activate the street and invite more people to come into neighborhoods? But we're not very good at doing that. So what we see is that we're attracting about 10,000 new residents per year to a city whose long-term average annual production is under 2,000 units a year. The numbers we're hearing from around the Bay Area are staggering. For every 11 jobs created, we're producing about 1 unit of housing. And what's also clear is that San Francisco has a nasty housing affordability crisis, but it really is a regional problem. This is something that's common to cities around California, and one would say the successful cities around the United States or the world. Healthy, vibrant economies that are becoming the locus of the knowledge economy attract lots and lots of workers who need places to live. And unless we can accommodate that, prices go up. And San Francisco doesn't have much to be proud of in that regard. We're pricing the working class, the middle class out of the city. And I think San Francisco risks becoming a luxury resort if we don't figure out these basic issues. And I guess what's so interesting about this moment in time, is that it appears there might be a paradigm shift going on where a lot of elected leaders are starting to hear just how dire this is and how deeply it threatens our cities and states and countries' economic competitiveness, and they're starting to propose solutions that are kind of radical in their way. And in particular, one that we're very, very interested in is called by right housing. And in fact, last week, Obama's White House released what they called a housing development toolkit that has something called by right housing in it, which is very exciting and could promise to deliver a lot more housing. So I think it's in San Francisco, I'd say it's not so much the values that separate us. We're deeply polarized, and there's intense political disagreements about the solutions we should take to improve our housing situation. But it's not so much about the values of having affordable housing for all that want to live here, as with the difficult math that confronts us. The numbers are grim. And how do we accommodate a growing population? And how do we build enough housing to keep the demand somewhat under control, keep the prices from going up 10 or 15% a year? Because no city can be sustainable. No city can maintain a middle class if prices are exploding that unreasonably.